You awesome friends. Thank you for tuning into our live. I'm honoured to be here with the amazing Jason McGregor. How are you today, Jason? What's going on?
I'm really good, Ed. I'm going really well. Just enjoying the start to the new financial year, which is probably not really exciting for most people, but it's a,
Oh, it's exciting for nerds like me. Now, I was going to say, you live in beautiful Brisbane. Obviously, I'm in Sydney right now, freezing my butt
Gold
off.
Coast. Gold
What's the
Coast.
weather like where you are?
I'm on the Gold Coast. Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's warm during the day, like 19, 20 degrees, and which is warm for me because I grew up in New Zealand, so that's like a New Zealand summer, weather-wise. And then it gets cold at night, so it's been getting cold at night, sort of down to 6 or 7. But yeah, which is fine. Which is fine.
Oh, now, it's a pleasure having you with us. You're a man of money, insurance, and financial planning. Please tell everyone around the world what you do. And if you've tuned in, smash that like, share, and comment. Tell us what you do, Jason. I'd love to learn more about you.
Yeah, I'm a financial advisor, and I specialize in working with medical professionals. And long story short, I help people make smart decisions with their money. So, is it spending in terms of spending money to ensure that if their insurances, they're only paying for the benefits they need, and if they are investing money, making smart decisions. So, small, simple, smart decisions compounded over the long term add up to be a huge difference.
Oh, brilliant. Now, we've got a few fans here. We've got Jean Ung from Malaysia. Jean. We've got Edward
Hey, Jen.
Lighthead, a great name for Edward. We've got Joshua. We've got our friends coming. If you just come in, smash that like, share, and comment, and please connect with wonderful Jason McGregor, which is great. Now, I was going to ask you, Jason. Now, a big thing on everyone's mind now, again, I know you're Australian, and I'm not going to ask about American news, but as we know, inflation's really gone out of control. It's gone out of control in America. And as we know, inflation's really picked up here. Can you tell us, again, I know you don't have a crystal ball. I know this is general advice only, but can you sort of give us a snapshot of what's happening right now? Is that okay?
Yeah. Well, snapshot of what's happening right now is what's happened over the last couple of years. So all this government stimulus that has come into the economy. So all the central banks around the world have been printing money. They've just been pumping money into the economy. So they just keep pumping it in just to try and keep the economy alive. Like during COVID, they were handing out money. There was all these different schemes from different governments all around the world. They were all just trying to keep people afloat and survive because we were all locked down. And then now we've got to a point where there's so much money flowing around in the economy. It's just there's a point where it's just going to cause inflation, and that's what's happened. So that means the period of low interest rates and easy money is about to come to an end. There's a point where you can't just keep borrowing money, which is effectively what the government's doing by printing it. You've got to actually start paying it back. When you think of it like your own household, you can't just keep borrowing money and living the high life. There's got to be a point where you've got to say, all right, we've got to knuckle down and start paying this money back. So that's what's happening at the moment.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense because, I mean, we've got inflation, we've got a lot of things going on. But yeah, now that's a negative, but I want to talk about the positive. But we have smart people investing, don't we? Like, I'm not wondering, what are people doing these days? What are some of the, again, talking generally, can't give personal advice here, but what are some of the big investments? What are some of the big moves you're seeing right now? And what do you often say to your clients? Again, talking just completely generally here.
Well, yeah, without sort of going into specific the nitty gritties, when you just take it back to investing, like the smart decisions you make with investing is when is the right time to invest personally for yourself. You've got to firstly work out that, and then you got to take it back and say why you're actually investing. What are your goals? Are you actually wanting to save up for a house, or you want to save up for a holiday house, or you want to save up for the long term? You're saving up for retirement, and what you invest in is determined by what you're actually wanting to achieve. What is the end goal? And with investing, it all boils down to one word, and it starts with D: diversification. Diversification it's all around spreading spreading your investment all around, not putting all your eggs in one basket, not trying to take a punt and saying, well, this is low at the moment, it may go up, because no one's got a crystal ball. But what we do know from history and economic cycles and everything, that different countries, different segments of a market, either be shares or bonds or property or whatever, they all work in different cycles, so they're all going to go up and down at different points in time. So investing is investing in everything, just to have a portion in everything, really. Probably
Wow. Well said. I just want to apologize as well. If my internet's a bit choppy, it's because we've got the worst rain right now. So whenever it rains around here, it just destroys our internet. So I apologize in advance if I'm a bit choppy.
That's right. You're not going to float away. You're not going to float away.
Yeah, no.
I saw that house floating down the river in Sydney a couple of weeks ago. So
yeah, Sydney's hard because it's been nuts because where I live in a beautiful part of town, but it's a very old part of town, and whenever it rains, I found out it drowns all the cabling and it interferes with your communication. So you always get, when it's sunny, you get like New York and quality internet. When it rains, you get like 1990s dial-up internet. It's crazy. So there you go. Crazy. Anyway, I was just going to say, Joshua Lee's loving it. We love you, Joshua. Jean's here. We love you, Jean. Wonderful. Lassie's listening. We love Lassie. And also got Jason Spatroni. So if you are listening, smash that like, share, and comment with Jason McGregor. Now, I know you're not American, obviously, but I follow American news and politics quite closely, and I'm a huge fan of Elon Musk, right? And I think you'd appreciate this. And I don't know if you heard, but Elon was going to buy Twitter, and then he pulled out of buying Twitter. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Now, what a lot of people are saying is that since Elon announced he's pulling out of Twitter stock prices have tanked, and a lot of people are saying that it's just Elon doing his thing. Like Elon's deliberately pulling out of Twitter to lower the share price so they can get it for a better rate. What do you think of all that? Just talking high level and pop culture. What do you think of Elon and Twitter and how he's trying to tank the price to get it cheaper? I wonder what he's up to.
Well, yeah, you may be right. Well, that's market manipulation. That's a jailable offence doing that. But
wow.
He has got such a massive cult following, and he has got that ability to actually move the market. What he says can actually, what he said, he wanted to buy Twitter, and then he realized, it's probably a bit expensive and I can't really afford it anyway. So, potentially it could play out that he might have had, he might have been going long just before he bought it, and then going short just as the market tanks and profiting in that way, or people associated with him could be doing that because, he's got a huge cult following. It's the same with his Dogecoin and the cryptocurrencies. Whatever he says, people just pump money into whatever he recommends or suggests. So, you can make money following him, but if you're late to the party, you can potentially do your dough. So be very careful.
Wow. Wow, absolutely fascinating. Now I'm going to say, what other, now talking Australia, of course, that was a more American pop culture. Talking Australia, I'm just out of general interest. When you have clients come to you, and again, it all varies on everyone. What you talk about, different shares, different property. Just tell me high level, how do you exactly work? So client comes to you, what's the first thing you do, and how do you sort of steer them? What's some of your general thinking there?
Well, the general thinking is firstly it's not to jump into solution mode straight away and trying to pick XYZ investment and say, look, this is right for you. It's just finding out what you want to do, what you want to achieve, what's important to you. It's all around. It comes down to your values. So have you heard of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Tell us.
Sort of there's the triangle. Sort of there's the security, there's the ego, and at the top of the triangle over here is the fulfillment. So what do you do? What you do. So
my ego is bigger than everyone else's. So my ego is the big part of the pyramid.
You've got the triangle goes like like a big sort of oblong football.
My Arabic ego does it all. I blame it on my ethnicity. So that's instead of myself.
Yeah.
My easy cop out, Jason.
You're a good operator. You're a good operator. I'm sure you'll fit into the Maslow's hierarchy. It's all around having that security, having enough, base level for, provide for the family, having food, being, housing, that sort of base, having enough money for that type of thing. And then ego is the middle part is going on, having money to go on holidays, maybe having money to send your kids to private school, those sort of next sort of tier up. And then the fulfillment is the part which I love to get to and talk about with the clients and people is what are you doing what you do? If you've got enough money for your security and security in your ego, well, what are you actually doing? What are you enjoying what you're doing? So, for a medical professional, it's all around helping people get better or fixing a particular part of the body that they specialize in and spend years studying. So, and that gives you the greatest fulfillment. And that is probably the finding out what people's values are is probably the most important. And then you're sort of linking that with your goals. So knowing what your values are and what's important to you helps actually clarify and quantify your particular goals that you want. And once you know what are the values and goals, everything sort of flows out of there. So what do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? And sort of working on the timeframes. And then, as I said before, then what you invest in determines what is right for you, because it's not much point. There's no sort of cookie cutter approach to investing. There's no sort of one stop shop that fits all. It's there's so many different things to do, and it's finding out what's right for you, what's important to you, and what fits with your values and goals. Because ultimately, it's your money, and you want to invest a way that actually makes you, be able to sleep at night and think that you're actually doing what's right for you, for your family, or whatever you want to do. So that's in a nutshell, sort of the brief version.
Well said. Now, I know you help a range of people. I notice that you also focus a lot on doctors and medical practitioners as well. What are those characters like? What's it like to? I used to live right next door to Westmead Hospital, so just to walk down the street, I'd be surrounded by doctors and nurses. What's it like working with medical professionals all the time? What sort of characters are they, and what's unique about these type of people?
Oh, these guys are great people to deal with. Super, they're obviously well educated in the medical space and understand the value of paying somebody for advice, because they realize that you don't know what you don't know. And there's a lot of different personality types as well, and which is it's really fun just helping people out. And g'day mate, hello.
So he's been running around me, so I finally grabbed him, but it's got to say, a little friend who's loving you. Do you love Jason? We love Jason. He's awesome.
Hello.
Sorry, continue.
I've got my little Cooper hiding out the back because I couldn't pick him up. He's a little Westie Shih Tzu dog. He's 14. He'll get a bit grumpy when you pick him up like that.
Yeah. I just love using my cat as clickbait. If you want more views, just stick your cat in it. It's just a default. Like if you're female, wear less clothes. If you're a guy, just pick up a cat. Problem solved.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
That's fascinating. It's I love where you're going. Now I was going to ask you as well, insurance. So we've talked a bit about money, financial planning, insurance. Now insurance is such a broad concept. Just tell us generally about insurance. How does insurance work, and what are some of the common plans that you set up people with? Again, talking generally, of course.
Yeah. Well, insurance is ultimately, it's your backup plan. It's what, if you've got these goals, life goals, what's exciting and what you want to do and what you want to achieve and everything like that. But having insurance is the backup plan. That's pure, because it's a cost. You don't want to have insurance, but you want to know that if something happens to you, Ed, that your family is going to be okay financially if you're no longer around being able to work. So that's what an insurance is. So there's the main type of insurances that I deal with is life insurance, protects you protects your family if you die. So it's a lump sum of money to pay out debts and pay for ongoing living expenses and education costs. There's the disability covers, like the total and permanent disability. Probably heard the TPD term going around. So that's, if you're disabled and unable to work, again, you get a lump sum of money to provide for pay out debt and provide for education and the costs, those sort of things like that. Trauma cover, critical illness, which is another one, sort of a lump sum cover. So you get a lump sum of money if you suffer from a traumatic event like cancer, heart attack, stroke, those sort of things. They're the big ones. And then the main one is income protection. So that protects your most important asset, your ability to work and earn an income. So they're the four main covers, and obviously you've got to pay for them, but when you put it in perspective and say, well, it's your backup plan if you've got all these goals and what you want to do and what you want to achieve. So you need to have this insurance cover in place, and it's just purely to cover the gap. So as you're getting financially stronger, kids are getting older, there's one less year to fund. So that's when you can start to pull back on that cover too. So that's really important to review what you have regularly. So you're only paying for what you need, because at the end of the day, it's a cost. And depending on what type of premium structure you have, it gets a lot more expensive every year as you're getting older. So, yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. I was going to ask another question. How do people find you? Like, just add a totally different question, different viewpoint. How do you get clients to do people find you? Do you go to networking events? How do you get that exposure, and how do people sort of seek you out?
Yeah, a lot of clients contact me through LinkedIn, which is cool. So just want to have a chat, and can't help everybody, but it's good just to have that initial chat to see if I'm the right type of advisor for them, or help them out and point them in the right direction. And meet a lot of clients through referrals, and going to conferences too, so medical conferences to meet with clients that way as well. So that's a good opportunity, because everybody's in the same room together, and a little more relaxed, because talking to getting people to, when they're busy doing what they're doing, it's almost impossible. So yeah, that's probably the main one.
Brilliant idea. I love it. So again, LinkedIn, we all love LinkedIn. I spend my whole life on LinkedIn. I haven't now changed my LinkedIn bio to I love LinkedIn, and Microsoft is the first thing I say on my LinkedIn bio. That's how far I've taken it.
Good. Microsoft.
Yeah, I love Microsoft. And of course, Microsoft owns LinkedIn. Did I tell you that?
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I don't know.
So and as time passes, it used to be very much Microsoft owns LinkedIn, but as time passes, the blur between Microsoft and LinkedIn and Microsoft are becoming the same sort of blob now, to the point whereas in Sydney, I worked at LinkedIn. LinkedIn used to be their own office. Now, Microsoft people are moving into LinkedIn headquarters. So Microsoft is sort of conquering LinkedIn, even though they own the place.
Yeah, okay. I suppose at the end of the day, LinkedIn's probably going to be bigger than Microsoft, because they've failed at a few acquisitions over the years, haven't they? So,
was it Skype? Was it a disaster? Skype.
Yeah,
they did a few. Sorry, you go.
Yeah, they just seem to be behind. With a bit of strategic management, the decisions have been pretty bad, really. So, MSN, and they've been sort of the first to market, but people have come along and made things better, and they haven't really kept up. So, interesting sort of.
And on a funny note, and you'll appreciate this, so I'm using a Surface Book 3, which is like a really nice Microsoft laptop. And I hate to say it, even though I'm on Team Microsoft and an Apple fan, you can tell they ripped off the Apple iMac, right? You can tell they ripped off the Apple iMac. Like, you're just being honest with me, right? And another bit was funny, and a lot of my tech friends will love this, is that So you know how recently you went from Windows 10 to 11, right? You go Windows 10, recently went to Windows 11. What I found was really funny is basically, what's the difference between Windows and 10 and 11? On Windows 10, your options were on the bottom left. Bottom left of your screen. Windows 11, it just moved to the center, just like Apple. So there you go. So I just find I think Apple is just Microsoft's like, let's just copy and buy everyone and catch up. I think they're playing that game. Is that a fair viewpoint of what they're trying to do?
I think that's what they've been doing, and it's what they've been doing for years. They've just sort of been copying everybody, but making bad decisions. They've had so much money and they're so big, and just been reactive, but actually making poor acquisitions and things along the way as a company. So yeah,
except for LinkedIn.
Right.
Except for LinkedIn, of course, that was the greatest. So of course, LinkedIn and Minecraft, top acquisition.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they've got the monopoly when it comes to business, sort of social media, for sure. So yeah, I think that's probably why everyone from Microsoft is jumping ship and jumping onto the LinkedIn sort of banner, because it's they know the winner.
Now, I love where we're going. So I want to ask a slightly different question. Actually, it's more about money, right? I'm talking generally here, mindset. Now, we hear a lot about mindset when it comes to money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you see people out there that, they love the idea of making money. They feel good about it. And then you meet people that feel bashful about making money. They think money's evil or has weird ideas like that. I've met people that think being wealthy is evil, right? I've met people who think like that. Can you give us some commentary on money and mindset? How does that work from your viewpoint?
Oh, absolutely. That is really important. That's probably a really important part of my role is to educate people around the mindset of money, because everybody's has a different relationship to money. And there's a great book. There's this 7. Will come to me. It's basically just says your early childhood experiences to money. There's 7 stages of money maturity. So your early childhood experiences to money and relationship with money affects how you become when you're an adult. It's really good. And people go up different stages of the money maturity sort of level. So, for example, was, if your parents worked really hard and said to the young boy, you got to work. The only way to get money is to work. And potentially as an adult, you're just working, and you're accumulating, but you're never really enjoying the money. You just constantly work. Or the same sort of example where the father might say to the daughter, just been generalizing, you're pretty, you're not going to have to worry about money. You're going to be right. So potentially as an adult, they're not worried about money and just constantly just spend and never have any money, or just flippant with money, that sort of thing. So I think it's a good book to read. I could send through the link. It's 7 stages of money maturity. It gives you a bit of an understanding on where you are on that ladder and where you can, and things you can do, coming back to your mindset, to actually get to a different mindset and have a different relationship towards money, because it is important. And it's not it's the taboo, really. Not many people talks about money, and there's nothing really in schools that teach you about mindset around money, around what is compound interest, what is how to save money, how to actually spend money, those sort of things. There's a lot of education that could be done for children. I've got a daughter at the moment, and she's still young, but it's trying to educate her around money, because everything she wants is just from Kmart. We'll just go to Kmart and get it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, but it's mindset.
I love that one where you're going now. I actually, I heard this, and I actually knew some when I was growing up. When I was quite young, I had this, and I'll just be. I'm not going to be politically correct here, so I'll just be straight up with it. I used to have this friend, and he was a family of dole bludgers. And for those around the world, dole is like is a slang term for social security. So basically, they were on government welfare, right? And he was a good guy, but his parents would they're both on welfare, and they'd just be smoking, drinking, and eating potato chips all day, right? So literally, this, even though he was a good guy, very, very nice kid, my friend, but the parents were just, I hate to say it, they were just bludgers, right? People didn't want to work, did not want to work. They didn't want to get jobs. They just wanted their next Centrelink social security payment. Now, what happened to these guys that was fascinating is they won Tats Lotto. They won about $250,000, something like that, right? This is, mind you, 20 years ago. And you know where the story's going, of course, Jason. You know exactly where the story's going, right?
Yeah.
And guess what they did? They got a pool. They went on a holiday. They bought brand new cars. And then I bumped into my friend 20 years later. His parents went bankrupt. Now, I heard about this, but I actually knew this happened. How come we've seen this happen a lot in the UK? People who are like on welfare win millions of pounds of dollars, then they go bankrupt. How on earth does that work, Jason? I've seen it myself, and I'm still to this day baffled by it.
Yeah, it's all around people's money mindset. It's that having that scarcity mentality. It's thinking, well, I don't really deserve to be here, so I'll just make these unconscious decisions, which are bad decisions, and waste my money on overpriced lifestyle assets to get to a point where I feel comfortable. It's having that, because they're comfortable. That's what they knew. They were comfortable, getting collecting the, whatever it was, 500 a fortnight or whatever per fortnight, and not having to do anything. So, but pushing them out of that comfort zone, thinking, oh, I don't like it here, and no one around to actually help them and give them good advice, and they had an opportunity to really capitalize on these things. But yeah, you're right. You see it all the time. There was a famous one when I was living in the UK, where a guy who was a Garbo young guy, and he won £8 million. £8 million. Like, this is
just on that one, for people around the Garbo is like a rubbish collector, just for our friends around the world. We'll go,
sorry.
On a funny note, because we've got a global audience, I would use Australian slang, and everyone say, "What does that mean? What does that mean?" So Garbo means like trash collector. Sorry, continue, please.
Yeah, and he's a rubbish collector, and he won £8 million, which is massive, lot of money.
Wow.
And same thing. He probably, I think he ended up in jail, but he spent pretty much all that money within about 8 years. He bought a house in this beautiful neighborhood, bought the house next door, knocked it down, and then was buying cars and having demolition derbies in this beautiful neighborhood. Just was an absolute lout. And but same thing. There's probably so many stories you can hear we'll know of people winning millions of dollars and all of a sudden fluttering it away on bad decisions all the time, and ending up back to zero or less than zero, because it's all around your mindset towards money and education on do you deserve to be there, or do you deserve to have this lifestyle? And people subconsciously saying, well, I don't really deserve to have this money, and they just flutter it away. And so a bad one I see is sometimes, which if you can't catch it early, some people receive a life insurance payment. So, and they flutter that away because they would rather have the husband or the wife or the father or mother around. And that's a really bad one. And sometimes you just think, well, you've got a couple of mil, and then it's all of a sudden it's just fluttered away because they're obviously not in the right mindset to deal with it, and don't get advice and just waste it as well, which is really sad too. But that happens with so many things. Yeah. Wow. And it's all around mindset. Yeah.
Wow. Well, fascinating. Look, Jason, thank you for your time. And to our viewers, thank you. Please like, share, and comment. Great having you with us. Jason, I was just going to say two things. How can people get into contact with you if they want to hire you or just have a chat with you? Question one, obviously LinkedIn. And question two, what are some of your closing thoughts you want to impart on our audience across the world? Yeah,
well, you can just ping me on LinkedIn. Just connect. Jason McGregor is my name. And or just ask Ed. He'll be able to get in touch with me. And imparting thoughts is, at the end of the day, you control what you spend and you control what you do. So it's all around just making a smart decision with your money and trying not to overextend and spend more than you earn, but keeping up with keeping up with the Joneses or whatever it is in your country. It's just trying to, live that lifestyle. It's all around living within your means, and you'll be fine if you can do that and make smart decisions. Small, simple changes compounded over time, I keep coming back to, add up to be a huge difference. That's probably my best advice.
Jason, brilliant. We love you, my friend. The sun has just come out as well. So there we go. The sun's just come out. Hopefully my terrible internet speed. I just got a closing thought. This is funny. You'll appreciate this. So I used to live in a very sort of working class part of town, right? And in Sydney. And the internet was like awesome. I now live in a very expensive part of town. The internet's like from the 1990s. So I've got no answer for that, Jason. I don't know what to do. So there you go.
Oh, I know. Well, that's because people probably don't want their gardens dug up to get the new cables put through. So
there you go. But Jason, thank you. To everyone watching, please connect with Jason. Jason, thank you so much. And just want to wish you the best, Jason.
Thanks, Ed. Yeah, it's been great. Great having a chat. Yeah. All the best.
See you, everyone. Bye. Stay awesome. Bye all.